We got some challenges ahead of us. That's why us light workers are here to hold the light, to discover our power, to allow our higher selves to integrate into our physicality so we can live in the moment and really co-create love, light, and compassion, not fight and fear. Hello everyone, this is Billy B from Bali, and boy, it's been crazy here. This year, through meditation and getting readings from other people, I've been on a spiritual quest. I went to, this past spring, I went to Glastonbury in the UK and had a great experience. The mother energy of the UK was unbelievable. The landscape, Stonehenge, all these sites, Bath, all these places I went to. It was a spiritual retreat that I went, and both of my daughters came along. It was fantastic, and I learned a lot about myself, and it was a very high vibrational experience for me. And all this is perspective, so you're gonna experience what you need to experience, but I highly recommend it. Then Spirit had told me that I needed to go to Mount Shasta. I've always had a yearning to be in Mount Shasta, and I wound up getting there, and it was only a few days, and I went with some friends that I actually met in Glastonbury from the East Coast of the USA, and they met up with me, and we stayed together, and they showed me the sights because they've been there many times, and that was really powerful. The energy was both male and female, sacred energy in Mount Shasta, very powerful. It was like going into a different timeline. The people in the actual town there below the mountain were so inviting and beautiful hearts. And it's like you could live on heaven on earth. That's Mount Shasta for me, was heaven on earth. It's definitely a place if you want to experience how people should be living, because you could just walk the streets and just make eye contact with somebody, and you could feel the love, and they'll stop and talk to you like you were family. And that's the way I think this planet should be, and it's on its way. But we got some challenges ahead of us. That's why us light workers are here to hold the light, to discover our power, to allow our higher selves to integrate into our physicality so we can live in the moment and really co-create love, light, and compassion, not fight and fear. Fear will lead you to the dark side, just like in Star Wars, absolutely, and creates prisons in your mind. I can't do this, I can't feel that, I don't like this, I don't like that. Instead of being open and seeing it for what it is, because everybody's in a different timeline and in a different space, and it doesn't mean that it's right and wrong. There's no such thing. Even though yes, we have to have rules, and and laws and things like that, but at the same time, there really isn't, because everybody's living what they're co-creating, what they're manifesting. They're living their energy, and it's all for this game of this play in our lives that we have to work out. So, Mount Shasta was pretty amazing. And then I was led to Bali, and Spirit told me to go to Bali. I never had an interest to go to Bali. I had friends who had been here, and they loved it, and it was wonderful. I met these old friends of mine 15, 20 years ago. But Spirit, through a couple of readings from different people, said, "Hey, you're going to Bali." I said, "Well, I guess I am," because I've been on this quest to really regain my spirituality, or reintroduce my higher self, because when you're on these journeys, these spiritual journeys, or even journey in life, you have all the answers inside. It's just that we got all this karma and all this karmic attributes from other lives, from this life, from our family, from our DNA, and the program that you grew up with, the environment, the people, the religion, the boxes, don't do this, all the fear mongering, like in the U.S. constantly there's fear mongering on the TV, fear of this, fear of that, and you walk around and you're brainwashed, you're watching TV and you're getting brainwashed with all this stuff. It's a phantom. It's just energy of control, and we are all creating our own existence that's in front of you, and what you believe is what you become. So if you have a lot of fear inside of you, it's time to get rid of it and stop moving on, and download that God power that is your true essence. When we're not in these bodies, we're up in space, we're up in the universe, we're part of the whole picture, and we're vibrating in love, and we actually put ourselves in this situation to have an experience. That's what life is, a huge play that we're all playing out our parts, and depending on your frequency, you're going to gravitate, and whatever you're thinking about is what you're going to co-create. So you're constantly in fear, constantly in worry, how you're going to make it, you don't have any faith, well, guess what? You're going to get more of that. That's just the way it is. I never thought in my life in 3 years I'll be going somewhere. First time I've ever done anything like this on my own. I don't know how I got here, because the call came to me and I just said, yes, I will do it. And it showed up, and the money showed up, and everything showed up. And the growth. Now Bali for me was two sides of the same coin. It was challenging as hell, unbelievable, because it brought up in me all these negative experiences that I've had in my past life. The spiritual energy here is so profound. The people live a spiritual life, right? And so you think spirit is clean and beautiful. Well, yes, there are beautiful people, and the landscape is beautiful, but at the same time, they got smog, they got traffic, everybody smokes for the most part. There's a lot of smoking going on, and guess what? In the States, they say is causing cancer, it's going to kill you, all this other stuff. Man, but they smoke and they thrive, and very few people are heavy. All the food is organic, all the juices are organic. The landscape is beautiful, but at the same time, the streets are all broken up, and there's a lot of, the traffic is insane. But there is harmony. It's harmony and chaos, the way they move and the way they live their lives. So, we could have our preconceived ideas of what should be, or how things should be, because back in the States, everything's got to be perfect and beautiful. And I've had both sides. I grew up in the slums in New York City, where everything was totally chaotic. So I think that's what really brought up all these feelings for me here in Bali. And you can't move on in your spiritual journey if you have these energy bodies in your physicality, in your electromagnetic field, in your aura. You can't move on or allow higher frequency to come into your world if you have these energy pockets within your existence. So Bali for me was a huge learning experience for me. It was very challenging at times, to the extreme where I was very uncomfortable, I felt terrible, and at the same time I felt love and exhilaration, and crying, forget about it. We cried so much on this trip. It was a spiritual trip with with a group of people I didn't know a year ago, and I've created friends from Europe, from the States. It was just so beautiful. It was like a kinship, like we were all meant to come together. So I highly recommend it if it calls to you. Life is not one size fits all, but if it calls to you, I'm sure you'll come here and have a different experience. But the magic is definitely here. These people live a spiritual life. They live day to day. I don't see them projecting out and worrying about things that are going to happen next week and next month. They live day to day, and they take time to have fun and laugh, and you see that constantly all over the place amongst the chaos. And that's what's so beautiful about it. The chaos and the beauty coexist hand in hand here. Most of these people are very, very poor, but you wouldn't even notice it in their attitude and their greeting. When they greet you, they greet you with so much love and compassion. It's incredible. I've seen energy like this in Tokyo and in Japan. The opposite, Japan was very, very clean and beautiful. You could eat off the floors in the big cities. But at the same time, there was an underline of control in Japan. You really had to stay with the rules over there. So people were suppressed in a way, but they had this beautiful harmony in the way they live. And that's my opinion, okay? And maybe they don't see it that way, and obviously not, because they're living in that environment. So anyway, wherever you're called to go, the spirit makes you feel that you need to do, I would recommend it. But Bali is a beautiful place to come. It's for me, it was a life-changing experience, and I look forward to moving on and sharing my psychic experiences, doing readings and doing channeling and my mediumship that I'm developing, and my healing work. So you can find me online at Billy V. It's I am the Billy V. I'm on Instagram and YouTube, and leave a message in the comments. I'll get back to you. And I love sharing these experiences, and I really recommend coming to Bali. And you'll definitely find yourself. And being that this is a 9-year ending of a 9-year cycle in numerology, and we're going to a 1. This is the time. We're at the end here of the year. Today is December the 21st, Sunday. So we're at the end of the year, and you don't want to bring anything that won't resonate or won't support you in the new energy that's coming forward. As you could tell, the time is moving faster. There's a lot of energy. The solar flares are coming in. There's a lot of energy coming that way. There's a lot going on energetically on the planet, and you can see the chaos that is creating in our political systems in the world. Because the old energy is trying to hold on really tight to the old way, but there's too many light workers like us who are out there growing and learning and making a difference, touching people. And you do it minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, not projecting way out there. Yes, you got to plan some things, but allow flexibility for spirit to help your higher self to guide you in the right direction with the right frequency, so you can co-create magic on the earth with love. And that's the most important thing. Sharing your love, sharing that love consciousness with everyone you set your eyes on. And that creates the magic, because no matter where they are in their mindset, your soul will talk to their soul. When I do my healing work, I talk to their higher self to give me the information necessary, how I can serve them and be a conduit of healing energy. They heal themselves. I'm just that conduit that makes that happen. And I talk to the higher self because sometimes their mental body is so strong that they can't see or understand anything that I'm talking about right now. So everybody's at different levels. So if we could meet them on the spiritual level, everybody has intuition. Everybody has a feeling, a knowing inside them. So there's some magic stuff coming on in the world, and there'll be some challenges too. And we'll get over all that because we're meant to be here. We stood online to be on this planet at this time. So love and light. I don't want to go on and on and on, but you could tell I'm very excited. And today I'm headed home, so I'm looking forward, but I'm looking forward, yes, for that 20-hour plane ride home. But to get home for my family and Christmas. So happy holidays, love and light to you all. Sending you hugs, light and love, and happy New Year. Till next time.